20 years, he hasn't bought a new shirt.
Nope.
He's still wearing the American flag.
But that's respectful of the flag, using it as a serape.
Right.
Just cutting a hole in the middle of it.
And stick your head through it.
So they have the 5 worst halftime shows, and we're going to go through them because some of these are some doozies. As you can see, number 5 on this list is the Black Eyed Peas. This goes back to 2011, where the Black Eyed Peas are on the top of the world. And you couldn't go to a freaking wedding without Let's Get It Started in here playing.
That was their year, to be sure. And their performance, though, on during the halftime show, it left a little bit to be desired. Why was she doing Sweet Child of Mine? And why was Slash there?
Correct. I mean, they needed more star power possibly, but you have enough of your own songs, Black Eyed Peas. Why are you doing a terrible rendition of that one?
This particular halftime show was also marked by these wild neon-looking people dancing around, and the Black Eyed Peas, not a lot of choreography either. They just kind of hung out and let everybody else do the thing.
Yeah. That wasn't the most entertaining at the time. They say the show was basically a disaster, but it had just enough redeeming qualities for us to allow a little bit of mercy. So they just had the bad parts. It was plagued by audio issues. Fergie Mike wasn't even turned on for her first solo line. And it was just the LED lights. They said it was terrible, pretty terrible. So that's the Black Eyed Peas from 2011. Moving on the list, this one was just, I felt it didn't need to be done. I understand there was like Blues Brothers 2000 was on their way, and it was like 20-year anniversary.
Yeah, but Blues Brothers 2000 didn't need to happen.
Correct. Once the talented Belushi left this mortal coil and left the trash Belushi behind, the Blues Brothers should not have been done again. I think we all can agree on that.
But it's Jim. He looks almost kind of like his brother.
And he's got a lot less talent. And then John Goodman's also there. And so this was from 1997. No, I'm already mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a great movie.
Dan,
go ahead.
I love Dan Aykroyd too. Did he think no one was going to notice?
I'm thinking he hoped so. Mm-hmm. It was, so yeah, there was a new movie coming out in 1998, Blues Brothers 2000, which was terrible. So yeah, they were just like, this didn't need to happen at all. Yeah. And it's just, a lot of it has to do with Jim Belushi, and it was 20 years. It was kind of also a dated reference for a decent amount of people too.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. And with as much heart and soul, literally, that John put into his performance, Jim just does not bring it. I mean,
it's reminiscent of your drunk uncle, like at a party or something, and there happens to be karaoke, and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to be a blues brother." Like, it's just, there's no rhythm, there's no soul to it, it's just going through the motions.
Yeah, pretty ridiculous. Well, stay tuned, Greg, because we've got something coming up for you just a little bit.
If boobs are what you want of the Janet Jackson, boy, we have the heart of the Rhythm Nation right here. Coming in at number 3 from 2004, we have the Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake Super Bowl performance. And I did not realize that Kid Rock was involved in this as well. So if tits are involved, Kid Rock's going to be there.
Yeah, right in the, Janet comes out first. There's somebody else who follows her. Then we get this ridiculous atrocity. 20 years, he hasn't bought a new shirt.
Nope.
He's still wearing the American flag.
But that's respectful of the flag, using it as a serape.
Right.
Just cutting a hole in the middle of it.
And stick your head through it. Yeah, that's exactly what that's what
that's
I salute
you. You are a true American patriot, Mr. Rock.
And then, of course, the moment that just shook the world. Oh, my goodness, Justin, how could you?
How was it in 2004 is when this happens? And 2004 is still the infancy of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
The internet now, 22 years later, it's just filled with, if it isn't involving tits, then most people don't even surf to it. I just can't believe how much of the vapors we got over a nipple on regular television.
Well, because on the internet, you have to go looking for it. It shouldn't come flying at you when you're watching the Super Bowl. It was, I think, what got people upset.
It's hard for me to wrap my head around just everyone like, oh my, and it even, remember, there was the star thing around the nip. Like she had like the nip jewelry.
Yeah.
So it was almost like a glorified pasty. I still don't feel comfortable
showing it on YouTube. I think we would probably get knocked off for doing that.
Look it up yourself, kids.
It's there. It's easy to find.
It's there. You can find it.
And
Greg will lead the way for you.
And I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but there are websites you can go to where you can see both boobs, not just one.
Oh, wow. Oh, really? Interesting to know. So, yeah, I mean, and I think it wasn't just because of the boob, but I didn't realize that P. Diddy made an appearance as well at some point. So that whole show hasn't aged real well from 2004.
Nobody.
So, yikes.
And you're right. When you look at just how short of amount of time this was on television, it's like boom, exposed, and camera change.
Right.
And yeah, you would have thought hardcore porn was on NBC that night.
You would have thought Westerhold came out with his vacuum in the middle of the performance and was dangling around out there. Moving on to number 2 on this list of the worst Super Bowl halftime shows ranked from TV Line. They put a triumvirate of the ones that were produced by Disney from 1991, 1995, and the year 2000. And I love the Disney company. But poor Warren Moon doesn't need to be trotted out there with Minnie Mouse in the middle of a halftime show. Yes, you got to be a football hero. Right, Warren Moon? You played in the CFL. You're a decorated All-Pro. And now you got to stand there like an action figure while Minnie yells about being a football hero.
So you're saying I just got to march in place? That's all I got to do? If I go out there, I just got to march in place and everything. This was an absolute mess of a production. This was 1991, the same Super Bowl where we had just gone into Operation Desert Storm in Iraq. The Whitney Houston national anthem blew everybody away, but then the halftime show was weird. It included bringing kids of military veterans, military service people out and singing and saluting, and then President Bush got on, and the announcer was, Pepsi presents the war in Iraq. Yeah, I mean, just the whole thing was so weird. It was so weird.
And the new kids in Block were involved at some point as well. Yeah, and they came on as well. So that was 91. Yeah, get down on a knee, Warren. Photo op. The Disney of it all. And I love Disney, but man, I'm surprised he didn't throw one of those kids like a football.
Yeah. Yeah, and
what are I supposed to do? Throw him like a football?
To mime along with a dancing Minnie. I mean, the whole thing was just ridiculous.
Yeah, some of the other ones, though, real quick, just to recap, 95, that was the Indiana Jones theme one where you could watch along at home, and it was all in 3D, and it was terrible. And then there was the 2000 one with Enrique Iglesias and Christina Aguilera, also terrible. But number 1 is Maroon 5 from 2019. So just a short 7 years ago was this flop of a show and joke made by Adam Levine.
Make it okay. I swear I'll behave.
That was so impromptu. He just couldn't control himself.
Yeah, his nipples, buddy. his nipples can be shown. It's just the shirtless portion, the nipple reveal, just all of that was just unnecessary. And plus, it's Maroon 5 is one of the most vanilla bands there is around, and I understand that's what kind of the NFL goes for at times, is just vanilla, kind of not push the envelope. But does anyone really like Maroon 5?
No, I know. Not enough for it to be, Maroon 5 and the Black Eyed Peas, not really big enough to hold center stage during the Super Bowl. And, when you think about it, you're kind of hard pressed to think of one. I think everybody always points to maybe Prince. But I'm sure Gaga. Even that had its detractors.
Lady Gaga was fantastic.
Lady Gaga was amazing
when she performed. Yeah.
Kendrick
but to your point,
year.
as well. But there's that segment of folk, and I full disclosure, I couldn't tell you a Bad Bunny song or if he was playing in the background, but I know for certain the guy's going to put on a hell of a show.
He's going to put on a hell of a show, and brains are going to explode, and it's going to be hilarious. People are going to lose their freaking minds. I
would love if we could FOIA request the calls to the FCC that will be recorded during the Bad Bunny Super Bowl performance, because those are going to be gold.
And when did we get a pre-show? We're getting Green Day for a pre-show.
I know, that's awesome.
Which is amazing
for the intros. Yeah, and everyone's just like, there's another band that may have some things to say about what's going on in the country right now.
Good for the NFL, man.
Yes. Well, here's the thing, because they know these, and I don't mean to get up on the soapbox right now, but real quick before we try not to be, but
who isn't? Come on, we're on the internet, Mike.
Yeah, hot takes galore. We're on a hot take date right now. Because the NFL now knows that the dopes who said, I'm never going to watch a football game again because of Colin Kaepernick, are going to watch a football game again. Because they can bet on their phones, and it's our national pastime, and it's manly sport. So they can say all they want, but they're still going to come back and watch.
Well, and I think the NFL also knows the huge audience base they have in the African American community and the Hispanic community.
Well, they're trying to make this go global.
Yeah,
they're trying to put. Trying to put teams. They're already doing. They've done games in Mexico, and they do the games over in London. I think they just announced Spain. They played in Germany. They've done. They just did the UK this past season. They want teams in all those places.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way they can make even more money, is to be a global phenomenon, because they already make a shit ton of money here in the U.S. So
look, much like the year Maroon 5 and much like the year Black Eyed Peas, where Bad Bunny is having a hell of a year. He is having a hell of a year. He is absolutely on fire right now, and the eyeballs are going to be there. Yes, if you are 90 years old and you just wish Glenn Miller would come back from the grave, you're not going to enjoy Bad Bunny. But his fan base is a monster, and he is going to have an amazing night.
He is.
And people are going to lose their minds, which is hilarious.
Yes, exactly. I guarantee it's going to be entertaining, and I guarantee not only on the TV, but it's going to be entertaining on the social media. I cannot wait to scroll and see in live time people lose their ever flipping mind.
Well, and what kind of comical, amateur, horseshit mistakes will Turning Point make? I mean, it is going to be, they're going to fall on their face. That alternate programming is just an alternate. How are they going to do this? You just randomly say, here is a 15-minute concert to watch instead of watching that one. Is that what they're doing?
Yes. And on what channel? I don't know if it's streaming only. I'm not quite sure.
Well,
but they got Kid Rock, Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, and some other dope.
Yeah. I mean, I heard there were some Sinclair stations who will be airing the Turning Point version over top of the NFL broadcast, which I don't know if they can legally do that. That would be an interesting fun.
Yeah, I don't know. They got to get this. They got to get the express written consent of the National Football League, and I don't know if you're getting it for Kid Rock. No offense. So there you go. There's looking some of the crap ones.
Conspicuously missing, though, from the list of horrible halftime shows.
Our favorite
was Elvis Presto.
Yes. One of my favorites.
A multimedia extravaganza and magic show that involved wearing 3D glasses, a magic trick that was being done on stage, at home, and in the stands at the same time. I mean, it's just...
Your seat.
For his most mystifying feat, the part you chose is under your seat.
Now hold up your cushion, surprise, surprise, right before your very eyes.
Hold up.
What is it? What is it?
You got to hold it up, otherwise it doesn't work.
Yeah. Look at the magic trick.
Oh, look at that, the entire stadium.
So that was Elvis Presto, which you've got to wonder how in the world, in the conversation of possible halftime shows, where on earth, what sort of Las Vegas strip mall did they pull this guy out of and said, I got something that is going to rock the nation?
Well, wouldn't you think they'd be like, we could do an Elvis impersonator? That could be enough, right? Elvis still had some panache, and maybe do a tribute to the king as your halftime show. But someone said, but what if he did magic? Like, it's okay to be Elvis impersonator, but what if he did magic too?
Oh my God. And in 3D.
And to really drive it home, to make it even more convoluted, you had to like go to your local grocery store and buy a case of Pepsi and then turn in a receipt and get the shitty red and blue old 3D glasses and then time it it was a mess.
Yeah.
Like my dad was just like, no, we're not doing that here. We're not doing that here.
So predictions for Sunday night, Bad Bunny is going to just be on fire. Turning point is Kid Rock will fall off the stage drunk, probably.
My prediction for Turning Point is that Kid Rock's finale will him using a 12-gauge shotgun to blow up a keg of Bud Light.
Yes. Yeah, because he's 20 years older now, and I think when these pyrotechnics start, he's not going to know what to do. He's just going to walk right into them.
They're not going to have that much pyrotechnic, Johnny. Come on. You think they got the budget for that much pyrotechnic? It's going to be somebody with sparklers behind him.